Okay, hello. Welcome to lesson 4. So today, what I would like to do is add a little bit more styling to our bodies in every single HTML page. So first, let's start with background color. So in order to change the background color, you're going to use a CSS selector called body. But first, let's keep organized. We're going to add another comment into our CSS. Remember, the way to do that is a slash and then an asterisk, and then to close it, it's an asterisk and then a slash. Okay, so I have that, and here I'll just write applied to all bodies, so then I can look back and later know what my CSS is doing. Okay, so we have that. Next, I'm going to use a CSS selector called body. Then I'm going to change the background color to kind of a bluish gray color. RGB just stands for red, green, blue. And these numbers are the amount of each of those colors that make up the color. You'll see it once I open it in the browser. And then for my text color, I'm just setting that to white. So let's save and see how that looks in the browser. So already starting to look a little bit more pleasant on the eyes. The black and white contrast wasn't quite as sleek looking as this. So we have that going now. But our links up here that take us from page to page still are kind of a blue purple color. So let's go ahead and change those next. In order to do that, you have to use a link selector, and I'll change the color to white just like our other text. So now I'm saying change all of my A tags, link tags, to white. So anything that's in between here will get changed to a white color. Save that. Let's see what that looks like now. Refresh the page. Now our links are white as well. So it's starting to look pretty good, but I feel like there's still a little bit more we could do to our body in order to make it look better. Let's go back to our CSS. And we're going to use a paragraph selector. To do that, all you have to do is put P. Now, we may run into a problem later on where we have different paragraphs that we want to be formatted in various ways. So this isn't a one-size-fits-all solution. So let's first change our background color for just the space surrounding our paragraphs. I'm going to set it to kind of a darker gray or a black color. You can put any color on yours. So put that in there. Let's save, take a look. So now behind my paragraph is a black background. Looks pretty good, but we can make it look a little bit more streamlined. So I'm going to add a border to this next. One pixel border, solid color, and it's going to be white. So now this has a border around the box, already starting to look a little bit better, a little bit easier on the eyes. Next, I'm going to set the height and width of this box. So let's try 500 pixels. So that's an absolute number instead of a relative percentage. So this one, the 500 pixels, going to save. Now our box is going to be a square, 500 pixels by 500. And you'll notice the box moves with the browser changing, and our text is moving as well. So we're not losing any of it when we're changing our browser size. Okay. Next, let's change our font size. I just realized I put weight instead of width. Change that. Now it's going to look a little bit different. There we go. So now it's absolute, so it doesn't fold as much, which could be a good or bad thing, depending on what you're doing with your site. So now I'm going to change the font size. Typically, the font always shows up as size 16. I'm just going to make it a little bit bigger. We'll go 20. Save, and now it should be slightly larger. There we go. For those who have difficulty seeing. Then let's add some padding. So if you notice right now, all of our text is bordering up onto the edges of our box. So by adding padding, you're adding a little space between the text and the outside of the box. And I'll just do 10 pixels of padding all around. Okay, let's refresh. Now there's 10 pixels of padding on every side of the text. So it's starting to be a little bit easier to read for your viewer or your user. Next, I'm going to do some margin. And you could use or lose as much of this as you'd like. So you can see that margin pushes the box down 50 pixels, and then it, using the auto selector, centers it on your HTML page. And then I'll also add 50 pixels of space beneath the box. So 50 pixels up here, auto to center, and then 50 pixels beneath the box. To make our box look like it's three-dimensional, I'm going to add something called box shadow. And you can experiment with this and see what looks the best for your specific site. I've always liked these numbers, working with these numbers when I'm using box shadow. So let's refresh. Now you'll see there's just a slight shadow around certain parts of the box. And just like any other time where you have four numbers on a CSS selector, it's just going from top, right, left, or top, right, bottom, left. Okay, so try some of that on your body, your links, and your paragraph, and see if that will help your site look any better. Thanks for watching. See you next time.